Good morning, children. Welcome to the new topic, Subject Verb Agreement or Concord. Before we start with the topic, we can just check our knowledge, like how we make the plural form of the verb. So we are thorough with we know how to make the plural form of a noun. Like how will we make the plural form of the noun? By adding s or es, like kite. It will become kites. Okay, so we just add s or es to the noun in order to make it to the plural. Now to make a verb plural, what we do, we take away that s form. Like if the singular is dancers, we take that s, then dance is the plural. So the plural form of a verb is that base form of the verb itself, whereas the singular form of the verb is that we will be adding s or es. Now the subject verb agreement states that the subject and the verb should agree with each other in terms of number and in terms of person. When I say terms of number, it is a singular and the plural. That is, if the subject is singular, the verb also should be singular. If the subject is plural, the verb also should be plural. And in person means the first person, second person and the third person. That is, singular subject needs singular verb. For example, my brother is a nutritionist. So here you can see like the subject, my brother, it is singular, one person only. That's why we are using the singular form of the verb, that is. Plural subjects like my sisters, so it is plural, more than one. So we need plural verb in that. That's why we use are. We will not use my sisters is mathematicians. We will not use. Instead, my sisters are mathematicians. Here are some questions for your practice. Like he talks quietly, because it is one person. So if it is singular, we will be adding s to the verb. They, which is plural, so it will be the base form of the verb. They read the assigned books. Kim, again singular, so it will be how to make the verb singular, by adding s or es. Kim goes to the coffee shop every weekend. We, again plural, so if it is the plural, the verb will be the base form. That is how we make the verb plural. We write letters for our friend abroad. Ian sings well, because Ian is singular, so we will be adding s to the verb to make it as singular. Now here you can see like I am. Okay, like if it is in the present tense, we will be using like I am, you are, he, she, it. We will be using singular as it is one person, we will be using is. We and they, we will be using are. Now depending upon the tense, like past tense, it will be I was, you were, he, she, it. The past tense of this is was, we or they were. So children, we have just seen the basic rule, that is the subject and the verb should agree with each other in terms of number and in terms of person. Now there are more rules. We can see each rule in detail. See the first one. If the subject is third person singular noun, that means if it is the any name like Ankur, Ankita, Anita, whatever name is that. If the subject is third person singular or the pronoun, or if it is the third person pronoun like he, she, it, this or that, the verb will be singular verb. That means if the subject is the third person singular noun like he, she, it, this or that, the verb will be, or if it is a noun, singular noun, the verb will be singular. Like this is for Ankur, that is for you. This is for you, that is for Ankur. So I have used the singular form of the verb, that is. He owns and operates a video store. So I have used owns, that is the s form of the verb, because the subject is third person pronoun. And operates. It was a very cold night yesterday. Why I used was? Because it is the third person singular pronoun. The minister is in favor of the bill. I have used the minister because the subject is third person singular noun. That's why the verb is also singular. My father trains. Why I use trains? Because my father, which is third person singular now. Rule number 2, if the subject is third person plural noun, that is third person plural, or the pronoun I, you, we or they, it uses a plural verb. If the subject is third person plural in the sense like the dancers, okay, it is a third person plural noun. Or if it is any pronoun like I, you, first person pronoun, second you, or we or they, we will be using the plural verb. For example, the dancers have been rehearsing. Why we use have? Because it is dancers, which is the subject is plural. My parents work in a bank. So as I said, if the verb is plural, we will be adding the base form. There will not be any s or es to the verb. My parents, again the subject is this. I like to keep my room tidy. Okay, so I, again the plural form. You were talking very loudly, the plural form. We are going to compose a song. Again, the plural subject is we. That's why we are using the plural form of the verb. Many people think of movies as entertainment. So many people, again the plural subject. So the verb is also the plural. They own and operate a video store. Now see the third one. If two subjects are joined by and, it will be using a plural verb. So it is like, obviously the unit will be like more than one, right? When I use the two subjects using the conjunction and. A dog and a cat. See, so I am considering it as a plural then. Then the verb will be plural, run. So I repeat, if it is a plural verb, it will be the base, that is without s or es. The man and his wife come here often. Yes, we are not talking about the tenses. Okay, tense we can change. The book and the ruler were removed by unknown persons. James and Joe do the homework. Why? Because the verb is plural do. We cannot use it as does. Parents and teachers need to meet regularly. Parents and teachers need to meet regularly. The plural form of the verb. Larry and Mercy are reading books. So don't get confused. We can use were reading books also. The tense will change, but it will be considered as the plural only. Kim and I spent time reading books. Roni and Rachel are going to another school. Roni and Rachel are going. Now the fourth rule is when a compound subject joined by and, okay, and it gives the impression of a unit. If I'm using like bread and butter, time and tide, his wife and greater, if I'm meaning to the one person only, okay, if the compound subject is joined by and, it is giving the impression of a unit. Or two singular subjects I'm using, but it is referring to the same person, we will be using the singular verb. If the article is repeated, then it means that the two different people or things are referred. For example, here bread and butter is his favorite meal. I'll be using is only. Why? Because bread and butter is considered as one unit. His wife and greatest admirer gives him sound counsel. So here in the sense like his wife and greatest admirer, I'm referring the same person as his wife and the greatest admirer. Got it? Admirer and his wife, these both are the same person only. Okay, this both refers to the same person. That's why we are using the verb in the singular. John's friend and his boss is very pleasant. So the boss is only John's friend also. So that's why I'm using is. But if I use like John's friend and boss are very pleasant, it means that I'm referring to two different people. Okay, if John's friend and boss are entirely different, they both are two different people, I can use it as are. But here what I meant is like when I say like John's friend and boss is very pleasant, I'm referring to the same person only. The president and commander-in-chief of the armed forces has arrived. Again, the same person, the president, he himself is the commander-in-chief of the armed force also. Rice and beans is good for lunch. Again, it is considered as the one unit. Time and tide waits for none.